Hi everyone, it's Gina once again. Today I am continuing, I'm doing number 56. Today is only one. I am still deciding actually if I should cut this one in four or leave it whole. I don't know, y'all tell me. Anyways, so I'm using watercolor again. I started off using matte medium, but I'm using masking tape to start, but it's not sticking with the matte medium, so I went back to Mod Podge. I'm using the basics, Liquitex Basic. I tried using Liquitex Basic acrylic matte medium, but didn't really work too good. So probably another matte medium would have been fine. But this is what I have, so use what you got. So I'm just sticking them all over because I'm thinking I love how masking tape looks and feels. And I want some texture on my page as per usual. So I started with that thinking, yeah, this is going to be awesome. And then this tissue paper I got in a shoebox. So I kept it. And I'm just going to crumple it up and stick it all over the page. And next come my prints, which is the purpose of doing this exercise. I am trying to use up my prints. I'm doing 100 days of using my prints. Is it going down? Is the pile? Well, I'm using it, right? But it feels like the pile isn't going down, but I think it's only because I'm getting smaller pieces out of it. So I'm using it. I don't think I'm going to use it up, but I'm definitely using it, which is a good thing. It's a really, really good thing. And not only am I using more of my prints, but it's also encouraging me to use more of my supplies, my other supplies, like more of my stencils, more of my paper, because I have not been using my watercolor paper because for me personally, it's expensive. So that's why I've been using, cardboard and other surfaces. I would use the journals, which is regular books, right? So only recently I bought the Strathmore, but, so I was just kind of hoarding it, keeping it for more important projects, for want of a better word, but that's how I felt personally. So I was keeping them and I wasn't using them. Even the canvas, I had the canvases there for a while. I had about 4 and I wasn't using them, and I would look at them and I would just not touch them. I'm actually going through that again. I have a couple that I have again and I've stopped using them. because I don't know, it's like I have a little fear. I just need to start. Anyways, so I'm adding some paint now to get some color in. This is a green. I really actually love this green. It's called Early Spring Green. I know that's not how it sounds, but because of the color and the you know, the name of it, it feels like that's how it's supposed to sound. Anyway, so I'm just putting this on. I'm using a spatula, the rubber spatula that you actually get in your kitchen. It's nice and rubbery and it's flexible. So I thought, let's do that instead of the stiff card that I always use, or a paintbrush. What was supposed to happen with this page is I really wanted to get a lot of texture down, and I wanted to show the texture as well. Right now I'm using a makeup sponge to help blend in that paint a little more. Even though I used the spatula, it didn't turn out the way that I expected. So, yeah. Before I was trying to use one color, you know, just to see how it would look. But now I'm just going into just mixing colors. Just using whatever colors I feel like. I missed that phase actually, so I'm back into it. Who knows, I might throw in a one. I don't think I ever did yellow. I did red and black and blue and purple and other colors, but I don't think I ever did yellow. So maybe I'll do that at some point before the 100 days are up. I don't know, because to me yellow is just yellow. So I might throw in some brown in it, you know, because it's family, right? Family colors. I don't know. Right. So I'm doing what I love to do. This exercise for me, this page today was a de-stressor as well. So I kill a lot of birds with this stone because I was a little stressed out. I've been having a lot of headaches recently and neck aches. And when my head hurts, it's either I need to eat, I need to wash my hair, or I need to drink more water, or something is stressing me out. So having exhausted all the others, I realized that it was stress. So this helped a lot. It took me 2 days to do this one actually, because of time, and I stopped at a place where I felt it was good. I could stop here and be comfortable and not stress out about it, because I didn't want something else to stress about. This tissue paper I actually printed on the printer, using the printer. So for those of you who don't know, you could cut tissue paper to the size of the card. I used not regular paper. I didn't use regular paper. I used what do you call that thing? Cardstock. I'm so sorry. Right. So I stuck it on I stuck it on a cardstock. Right. I have 11 by 17 and 8.5 by 11. So I used a longer sheet because why not? You could get more prints on it, I guess. And what I did was just use a regular glue stick, and I just put a light layer of glue on the perimeter of the cardstock, and I stuck the tissue paper onto it, and then that went through the printer and it printed on the tissue paper. And then you could take off the tissue paper and you have your print on the tissue paper and you could use it. I saw it on YouTube. It was years ago. I don't remember who. I know a lot of people do it. I don't know which person I saw it from first. I'm so sorry. But yeah, it's not my original idea for sure. I know that for sure. So for those of you who haven't tried it yet, give it a try. It really works. It's really exciting. I was jumping up and down. Oh, so happy. It's awesome. So this is charcoal. I use charcoal pencil to put these marks in. Because as I said, this turned into, it started off as, okay, I have to do this project, but then it turned into a relaxing session. and my go-to is just to do some random shapes and paint in them, which I haven't done in a very long time. It's just my go-to when I don't think. I just, my hand just moves. That's what usually happens. This pencil, this is a China marker pencil that I'm using now. I decided, so what's happening, which usually happens, but what's happening particularly with this page, I had a plan, which is like, it's never a full blown, I never see the full picture in my head, but I knew I wanted, as I had said in the beginning, did lots of texture and to see the texture. But then as I went along, things changed drastically. I also wanted to see my background, but now I'm covering it up with paint, and I'm just gonna paint the different sections on my page. As I go along, I'm deciding what is a section. I didn't purposely divide it, I just drew my curves any which way I felt like it. And now I'm deciding what areas are actually going to be a section, and I'm deciding what colors it's going to be. And I'm trying not to put two of the same colors next to each other. I don't want it to touch. That's the aim right now. And as I started this, I thought it would be cool to have in this section, it starts off light and blends into the color. So that's what I'm going to work on doing now for the rest of the page. Alright, so today I'm going to use my leaf stencil, which was not the plan at all, but I decided to use it, and I'm making some nice purple leaves. So I have some gold from a previous project on it, so what's happening is some of the gold is coming off onto the stencil, onto the paint and through the paint, so I am going to get some gold unplanned on my paper, but I love glitter, so I'm really happy about it. And I thought the pattern looked really, really cool when I lifted it up, so I just decided to go around the entire page and put it all over the entire page. That was not a plan, but I loved how it looked, so I just thought, yes, I'm good. And even at this time, I was still not sure, because of how it was turning out. I was like, should I cut this up? It would look cool to see pieces of the leaves on each quarter, because I was going to cut it in 4. But I was like, but it's looking good like this. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Let me know what you think. See, I was still, should I cut it? And then I thought, okay, maybe I could just do it in half. That should be enough. So I found that the middle here was looking really empty. So I'm just adding some paint. Again, my goal is don't think too much and just make a decision quickly. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about, covering stuff up. Just make your decision quickly. So, and Marsha, I'm adding white. Ta-da! I thought about you a lot when I was doing this page because I added white and I was like, oh, Marsha's gonna be so pleased. So you see, I'm trying to put in the text, well, not put in the texture, but highlight the texture. But yeah, it didn't really turn out. The leaves just turned everything around for me because I wasn't going to use leaves. That was nowhere in my plan. It's just when I was searching through my folder for the stencils, I saw it and I was like, hey, maybe I could use this today. And then things just took a whole 180. Just completely went in the other direction. And that's fine. It's interesting when things turn out that way. So that means, though, that I still have the previous idea in my head and I could still use it. Ha-ha! So I'm still adding white, going brave, covering up those fantastic leaves. I just love how they look. Love it. But I'm adding white. Again, I'm using my hand because I love how it feels and I feel more connected. And as I said, this session turned into more of a relaxing one and a de-stressor, and it was great. It really worked. It helped. And I recommend it. For those of you who don't mind getting paint on your hands and feeling the texture of the paint on your hands. I know some people, they don't like to feel wet, squishy stuff or, and that's fine. So do what works for you, but try it. If you don't like it, then don't do it again. Or not in a very long time. So it was around here that I realized that I would like to add something over the top. And in order for it to show up, I need to really push these things to the background. So that's why I'm still adding white. I'm still pushing things back, toning it down, trying not to cover up, but still making it much lighter than it was. So I finally like the outcome of this. Now it's time to add my focal point. I was trying to decide if to do it, permanently with the marker or pencil, and I just went with the pencil. I was like, nah, Gina, if you make a mistake, that's black on white there. So I am drawing some leaves. Not really sure how to do it or how it would look, so I've decided to use pencil first, and then I'm going to go over them with the black marker. And now that that's done, I'm going over it with my marker. What I did not do was do it exactly how I drew it, so I suppose the plan was to just trace it, but I didn't. I guess I just used it as a guide and just let my hand do its thing. So it's not covering the pencil. So I had to go back in and erase, and then actually to cover it, I didn't really erase it. Right, so this was day 2. I had to stop halfway because time, and I needed to get to work and everything, so now this is me covering up the pencil that I did not trace. That was my effort. So you see, it wasn't planned, and that's fine. Thing is, sometimes when you make a mistake, it's not always a bad thing, and it could help you to make a different creation, something that you didn't think of doing. So here I am rubbing off some of the excess, but most of it I just left it and I covered it with the yellow marker, the paint marker. The paint markers that I'm using is Deco, Color, Pointer, and Posca. I actually wanted to do some sort of drippy drips, like a whole other kind of background. I wanted to add a different kind of background behind it. Like, I don't know, I got an image in my head, but I ended up doing this instead, which is fine. Like I said, if you don't use your idea, you could always use it somewhere else some other time. Yes! And now I'm going to add some grass because I find down below it looks really scanty. It's very lacking, very bare. So I got the green out. I was so surprised. I thought I had used it before, but it was very raw. It was virgin. So I had to spend a little time trying to get the ink down, but it eventually came down, and now I'm adding the grass. And as it's still wet, I'm just using my finger to smudge it so it wouldn't be so stringy. And I kind of like how that looked, but since I had the yellow in there in a couple places, I thought it would be cool to add some pink. I wanted the leaves to not just be green because I found it was really boring. So I just felt very brave, and with my brush, I just kind of mixed up pink, but it turned out to be really, really too light. But I wanted just a touch of color on the leaves, and I just dabbed my brush on all the leaves, adding some color. Then I went back over it with white, and then I'm going to add some gold in there as well. Because of the yellow that's in the background, I decided to add it onto the leaves as well. But I didn't want just plain boring leaves. Green. I didn't want it to be just green. So I was like, Gina, just do something different. Just whatever. It's not realistic. It's fine. Just add some color. I was just feeling for red, pinkish kind of vibes. So that's what I did. Here comes the white now. I'm just going over them with the white. And then I'm just going to do some little touch-ups with the gold as well. So that was done, and I decided to do some gold squiggly plant thingies. And I'm also putting it in the grass because why not? You know, just give the grass a little highlight. And then I wasn't seeing the gold squiggly, so I'm just doing it very freehand, very quickly. I'm not trying to trace it, but I'm putting the purple over it. And then I thought maybe I could do some stars, some little asterisks, but as I did probably the first two, I was like, no, this is just, it looked horrible. So I tried to fix it with dots and it looked worse. So I'm trying to rub off the asterisks now. And of course it's leaving smudge marks. And I'm trying to just do dots, but I hate it. So I'm just going to try to rub it off. And I'm going to cover it over with the white. I hated it. It was like, ew, Gina, ew, stop it. So that's what's happening there. Covering it over with the white. And yay, it's all gone. I felt so much better. So I'm using my Pilot pen now. I have a gold Pilot pen and I'm just doing some more very, very thin, you could barely see it, lines, just to add even more detail. Then I went searching for some more purple paper and I found this that I did. It was a foam stamp. Just a little children's stamp, a very short stamp, but I did it in a row, so it looks like well, it is a fence, but I mean, it looks like a long fence. So I was thinking maybe I could put this at the bottom and, you know, it could be like a fence. But I wasn't sure if I liked it, so I just pulled out my other papers. What are the odds that I would have green and purple on this page? I thought that was amazing because my page currently is green and purple with some yellow. So I'm just ripping them up, and remember, I am trying to use my prints. I was kind of scared, to be honest, because I liked how the page looked as it was and I didn't want to cover it, any of it. But I am also trying to go brave and also trying to use my prints. So these are some printed papers that I made. I just smeared them with paint using a plastic card. And I want to use them and I want to be brave and not just stop because I'm scared. So I could actually add to it after, but you know, I just wanted to go in brave and cover up because that's one of my I'm usually concerned about covering up. That's an issue that I have as well. So I'm trying to conquer that fear as well as some others that I'm working on, which is not using my canvas or to cut or not to cut. Do I leave it whole or do I cut it? Because when you cut it, you can't undo that. So I decided to go brave today and I'm going to just get all these papers stuck down and whatever gets covered up, it gets covered up. But it wasn't the plan. It definitely was not the plan. Now I'm going to try my best to see if I could blend these pages into these pieces of paper into the page. It's not going to be plain white. I just mixed in a little green with it, just, you know, so it will look more cohesive. So I liked how the top part looked, sort of, but the rest of the paper, the rest of the page, it didn't feel like it was working. Even the top there gave me a little trouble. It just, I don't know, maybe I was using the wrong kind of paint, or I don't know, it wasn't working. Or maybe I should have used gesso first, then put the color over it. I don't know. It just didn't feel right. It wasn't working. I still really tried, as you can see, trying all the areas, but it wasn't working. So I was thinking, what do? I tried the yellow. I was like, no. So I'm going, yeah, just rub it off. And I was like, okay, let's focus on something else. So I'm just redrawing my lines, thinking, should I put back any grass? Because all of that grass, I just covered it up. So I'm doing that now, putting back in my grass. Trying to decide, should I use the fence still? I don't know if I like it. If I don't, I don't know. So I thought, okay, maybe it's too long, so I'll cut it. And I actually really like how that looked. I liked it at the time. I was wondering maybe I should do it shorter. See, I'm covering it to the side, but I really wasn't sure about that one. So I said, let me just play around, make some more lines with the pen, the gold pen. I tried drawing in the leaf that got covered with the pen, but I hated it, so I'm rubbing it off again. And then I'm thickening these curls on top here because it ended up kind of funny looking. Because I didn't do it with a proper curve, it kind of had a point and a straight line, and that wasn't working. So I tried to fix it, and I ended up just making it nice and fat. So then I thought, since the gold pen wasn't working, trying to bring back in the leaf, I thought I'll just use the white marker. And that didn't turn out too bad. It's not like the thick leaves, but I was like, okay, that's not bad. Because I found the page was getting a bit dark, so that's why I used the white. So I'm just going to draw some leaves, trying my best not to rip my paper stencil, and just go in the grooves that's needed. And I'm just putting those leaves in 3 places. Right, so that was done, and I was checking to see if I liked how it looked. And I thought to brighten it up, maybe I could use a yellow, but that wasn't working. It looked really bad. So I brought back in the stencil, and I just put the yellow over the white. But I knew it wasn't going to cover it exact, because remember, I just made one stroke with the pen marker, the paint marker. And this time I was using the brush and filling in the entire space. So I knew it was going to be a bit off, and I kind of wanted it like that. I didn't want it perfect. I wanted it a little messy, a little off, and, you know, not perfect. I didn't like how they looked, so I thought maybe I could fix it by putting it using black. So my aim here was to partially cover the leaf, leave some showing. Because it's a paper stencil, it was difficult to judge, but I just kind of average it and hope for the best. So I put in some black, covered that up, and I was like, Lord Gina, I hope this come out good. And I loved it. I love it. So I was like, yes, let's do the other two. So I'm struggling with this one. For some reason, I just felt like I wasn't getting it at all. I felt like it was really badly off, not slightly off. So, but I got it down. I put in my black leaf and I love it. I really, really love it. Love how they turned out. I love it. To me, it was a nice highlight. Lovely. So I'm just neatening up some of the leaves because they got smudged. And I'm trying not to do too much. So I'm still trying to decide if to cut it and if I should do a border. But then if I frame it, the border might get lost. So I don't know if it makes sense to do it. But I just neaten up some of the leaves just a little bit. Nothing, it's not like super straight, super clean edges. Nope. Because I don't want it to be. I want it to be just a little messy. And I thought it was looking a bit scarce. So I'm just adding some very nice light dusting of dots. Yeah. Just a light sprinkle. And that'll be basically it. So, let me know what you think about this one. I managed to cut it down to 38 minutes. I'm so proud of me. Oh my gosh. Let me know what you think. I look forward to hearing from you. Ask your questions, make suggestions, leave your comments, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.